Hey guys, and welcome back. So today I just wanted to try drawing with some of my pens. And mainly because I'm meant to be studying, I am using my pens that I generally use to take notes. Which once again, what even are these? Faber-Castells. I swear the only thing I can get in this town is Faber-Castells. But that's fine. Are these? See? Faber-Castell. That's what they are. That's fine. So I've got some line art thingies. And I also have this white, it is a high gloss pastel pen. And I've never used it. It turned up yesterday. But there were like 4 of these for $2. And I was like, I want to try this because I'm pretty sure. For sketchbook. Yeah. Like, they're pretty opaque, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they're kind of a chalky business, which, oh, if we're gonna ever get ghost high, but that's all good. So I kind of just wanted to play around with some sketching and maybe some pose stuff. Get my sleeves out of the way. Maybe I should do sitting poses. I don't usually draw on pen either, so this is weird. Good, because I can't just erase everything, but also I can't erase everything, which is usually how I deal with my art. So I've done a fun thing recently where I was sitting on Facebook and one of my friends mentioned that I don't use Facebook. It is not something I find joy in. But one of my friends mentioned, and I swear I'm not actually a granny, but apparently there are groups, like interest groups and stuff. And so I was like, okay, that sounds interesting. And I found several artist groups and joined a couple of those, and that has been fun. And it's given me something to do on rainy days like this. I can go and sketch out some other people's OCs. People have been kind enough to sketch out my OCs, which has been really nice, especially being able to talk about characters has been really good. And it's, I don't know, kind of helps flesh everything out. Especially story-wise and stuff, and it's real nice to get inspired by other people, which you can't, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but you can see some shapes behind this page. I swear they're only pencil. I'm sure they are. Yeah. And there are some OCs from the members and being able to talk about their characters, and there's some cool imaginations out there. And some cool, like, different art styles, like different levels of art styles, but also different, like, approaches. And it's really cool to see everyone's. And it's actually been real good practice trying to put other people's styles into mine, especially, you know, when you draw your own characters, you're generally drawing something that you're interested in or what's caught your eye at the time, rah, rah, rah. And then someone asks you to draw their character, which is fun. But then you suddenly realize, I don't know the style, as in maybe like the hairstyle or the clothes they wear. And I'm just gonna leave that one. I want to draw pink now. And it's real fun because it's suddenly like, ooh, this is broadening my horizons. This is something new. But then it's also terrifying because it's suddenly like, I've never drawn this style of clothes. I've never drawn, well, I was only doing headshots, but sometimes looking at the poses, I was like, oh my god, how would one do this? But instead, I only drew the headshots, so I kind of saved myself from having to figure that much out. Which was both a curse and a blessing. So I wanted to try today doing this kind of draw with me style. But because I'm meant to be studying, I'm also not at my drawing space, so even the shadows are twice as bad because there's like There are 4 kind of small drop light things right above me. But I thought some of my favourite art videos on YouTube and in general have been ones where it's kind of just the artist having a spiel, just talking nonsense, I guess. Not always, but sometimes. Some of my favourite are when they're just talking nonsense and it's just a time to draw along or to chill, or so even though I'm second figure, and there's your warning. It's a good time to grab your own sketchbook and yeah, draw along, even though I'm just sketching or attempting to sketch out figures in pens. Which I am noticing, like, my figures are so stiff. What is that about? I suppose I should be happy that, like, for once, I'm actually drawing, like, figures. I don't often draw anything that's outside of the, like, standing with hands on hips, which was my upgrade from standing with hands behind back so you don't have to draw them. Even though that's probably wise, because drawing hands is definitely not a forte. Now realizing all the stuff under my nails from doing the sheet this morning. Oh well. It is done. Maybe I need, let's see, can I find a reference for some dance? Oh, maybe ice skating. Ice skating's a good time. Oh, actually, some of these are terrifying. Let's try this one. This will be interesting. So, I quite like ice skating. I was never into watching ice skating until while I was living in Osaka. This pen doesn't want to work. There we go. While I was living in Osaka, there was some ice skating champion hoodangs on. I think it was actually overseas in like Russia or something at the time. But some of my colleagues were really excited because there's a Japanese ice skater, Hanyu Yuzuru, I think his name is. And we ended up watching, me and one of my friends, ended up like staying up to watch his ice skating and everybody else's ice skating. But we went for him. And it was really cool. And like I myself like ice skating. I can skate in a circle without dying, which is ideal. But watching the pros was definitely something amazing. Especially, I said I can skate in a circle, but and even though I thought about it, never done it, picking up speed and then hurling your body through the ear, not the eel, that would be a whole different thing, would be terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. But you know, these people are good. In fact, anyone that can do a little jump is amazing, because that stuff's actually terrifying. I really should have done a skeleton for this. What is happening? I try, especially, this is not working, especially with trying to loosen up my poses and doubly trying to pick up what I can about anatomy. Ice skating, ballerinas, and music videos are great. Like if you go through dance music videos or dance covers even, and you kind of make a point of pausing at like just random moments, don't pick it, just pause, and even though sometimes you get the funniest of faces, just draw what they're up to. It's the same, like I find trying to practice, this lady has no arms now, she doesn't need them. Practicing scenery and stuff, like I love a good Ghibli movie. And it's a great excuse to watch more movies, anime, even some dramas. and whatnot that have really nice scenery, especially like K-dramas. And there's, what's it called? There's a Chinese drama, Love 0 to 0, that one of my friends recommended me, which is so cool. But yeah, as an excuse to watch more, you can watch them, and then to make it educational for your artistic self, just chuck in a pause every now and then, another pen that doesn't want to work. And then next thing you know, you've watched an entire series again, but you also have filled a chunk of your sketchbook, whether it's just getting an expression at that point, whether it's getting a body shape, whether you thought, you know what, that's a fancy looking tree behind there, and you've decided that's what you're going to do. It's quite fun, and it kind of takes well, it's a bit double-sided. It takes the pressure off in the way that you don't really have to decide what to draw. It's there, you've just got to have a go at your interpretation of that scene and whatnot. But then also, you don't know what you're going to draw. You're going to have to make an interpretation of whatever pops up on that screen. Not that I do it heaps, I really should do it more, and it'd be a great excuse to watch everything and not study. Although, as you can see by this, I'm already pretty good at procrastinating my study. But it's fine. It's only last year turmoil. Again. I don't know why I keep doing this to myself, but it'll be fine. See, this is so... Gotta get those action lines going. See, all this should be out here. All this, his hips should be back here. Even though this leg's cutting back. Because sometimes, this is a mess. Sometimes, most of the times in action shots, you know when you're trying to draw a normal kind of figure and it's like, this has to be balanced, so the weight, if the weight's on, this is the normal for that, if the weight's on this hip, then everything has to balance off that. You know, sometimes one foot has to move in front of the other so it doesn't look like your character's about to topple over. Action shots just throw that out the window, because then suddenly they've got momentum that is dictating how their body's moving. Losing my voice. And so suddenly you can draw a thing where it looks like, yep, they're gonna slide right onto their face. And while that could be true, the momentum is actually carrying them. So somehow they survive, which is great for them. Especially if you're doing something like this. Like if that was a still, you know she's toppling over. But because she's turning a corner on a skate, it works? Yeah, I don't know. There's so much, it's never just, here's a bunch of basic shapes. Well, it is, but it's rough enough? Rough enough. Oh. Oh. Let's use green. I don't know how sitting and figure skating translates to this. Am I in frame? Yes. However, I want to draw a witch. Maybe it's just because I'm always looking for an excuse to... A witch or a monster boy? Let's go with the witch for now. Ooh, maybe she's friends with the monster boy. That could be fun. Should I be thumbnailing? Probably, but I have a pose in my head. And I want it. Which I have drawn too close to the side of the page in an attempt to have room to maybe fit a monster boy. Pose in my head. I'm pretty sure this is a pose that I saw on Pinterest. Asia. Maybe it's because I have Pinterest looking at these that my brain just goes witch. But that's fine. How did this witch work? I know she had a book. Did I have this on Pinterest? Aha! I did have this on Pinterest. Fantastic. That makes my job a heck of a lot easier. One thing I've been playing with at the moment is heads. How do you draw them? How do you make them different? I don't know. I was playing, let's go back to this page, with like the proportions of when you start with a circle and then you put a line in the middle of it and then you put a line at the bottom of the circle and then that's space, you double it. That is now your chin. And then from there you draw in the face. Which was great, except as you can see it's a very long face and then all my characters start looking like they're older people. So I've been playing recently, we should try that with this one. Putting in a jawline first and then putting in where you want your eye and nose markers to be. Because holy moly, as much as I love drawing some older characters, I also want to draw a range of characters. Because even though, as you've seen with some of my videos, most of my characters are older, which has probably been why my drawings tend to go to that, I don't even know what age bracket I draw, but older. It's worked, but then it's also backfired in the way that now with one of the kids I look after at the moment, he's really into writing stories and character design, and so I was like, okay, this will be fun. Let's get some characters out and rah rah rah, and he's learning to draw and it's freaking adorable. I love the effort he's putting in, even though he's can quite often be very uncomfortable drawing because it's something new and he's just like, this is not what I expected. So, but, you know, it's good for his fine motor skills. But his characters, considering he is, oh my gosh, is he 13? Yes, I think he's just turned 13. His characters are more his age. So he wants younger looking characters, and while that's what he's working with, it became very apparent in my style that that's really hard for me to draw. Or at least I can draw your characters when they've grown up and your whole story that you've written is finished. But that ideally is not, that knee has to be over there, is not what we are after. But see, even I've done it now, working with a smaller face instead of it being about that long. But then naturally I want to draw an older person's body, which could be interesting, I guess. How does she make her leg disappear? But yeah, so if you guys end up drawing along, whether it's a witch or just some practice, or I'm not sure if I'm going to get to this monster boy, but if someone would like to draw the monster boy to be good old friends with this witchy lady, I'd love to see them. Because half the reason I started doing art was because I have friends that are into art, and it is how we communicated a lot of the time. Art and games. Because I was that child. But I love it. Witchy-ish, I suppose. Does she need a cauldron? What does a cauldron look like? You know, I'm not sure if I'm drawing a cauldron or if I'm drawing the cooking pot from Terraria. As long as it works, right? Is this going to be a competent witch, or is she going to be a bit of a newbie? Should we make her a bit of a newbie, and that way we can have some stuff coming over the sides, and she can be a bit like, oh my god, what on earth have I done? Oh, she needs a witch's hat. Who is I talking to? I was talking to someone the other day, and their witch character has no witch hat. And when I inquired as to why, they said because he's a competent witch. And that in that character's point of view, a witch's hat was like this overcompensating, like, I'm not confident that I'm a witch yet style thing, but if I wear this witch's hat, everyone will know. But in their little world, their witch is so, I don't know, renowned, that wearing the witch's hat was a bit overrated for them. So I found that interesting. So this witch would actually, should probably need a grossly, like, I should have drawn it like huge, because I'm assuming this would be a simple spell, and even though with the help of her book she's trying to do it, it's not really working. How does one draw worried eyes? Actually, this is kind of hard in pen. This stuff was fine because it didn't really matter, but now trying to, I might be able to go over this with a fine liner or something later, but it's good. You have to be a bit more confident on your shapes with this. Yeah, what does a witch wear? Whatever I want it to. Yes, yes. I wonder what this gunk is. I wonder what she was trying to make. That's a good question, because I'm pretty sure it was not whatever this is. And I'm pretty sure it was meant to stay in the cauldron. But look, there are two little bits here where it hasn't got over the side, so that's an accomplishment, right? I think so. Yeah, should it be a modern witch? Yeah. We still need a choker though. I love a good choker. Oh, maybe she needs one of those corsets on. Because who doesn't love a good corset? But it has the half sleeves that are mesh. And the only way for me to draw a mesh is like fishnets. So take that as you will. Where's your hair, lady? Let's just do one of those low, what are they called? Ponytail things. And a generic fringe. Fantastic. Ooh, she can be wearing a poofy skirt. Kind of like a pumpkin. Like bloomp, bloomp. See, big hat would have worked. Would have worked real good. Where's my fine liner? So many colours, I'm just not using them all. Saying that, even in my study book, it is primarily blue, pink, and orange. Should use this green more though, it's quite nice. Let's see what this does to the mix. So I've come up with a pretty good excuse as to why, apart from the fact that this is taking forever, an excuse as to why not to draw Beastie Boy yet. What if this is how she accidentally made him? What if, in attempting to make some mundane, I don't know, basic learning to be a witch potion, she created a creature? Which would be good. Maybe she is like, maybe that's why she's so worried. Maybe this little lady has, I don't know, like powerful witch, what's the word? Ancestry. So she's also trying to be her modern self. Not exactly a traditional witch. I'm sure she's got like the robe hanging up around the corner somewhere just in case grandma comes down. But yeah, she's trying to do it. She ain't confident. And then kapow. She suddenly has a monster boy companion. And they become the bestest of friends. Her family doesn't know whether to be horrified or impressed, because I'm pretty sure whatever she used in here was not like the equivalent to making a fully functional being, unless he's like a kind of insect monster boy. Imagine if it was like a, what's the word, like a trans-dimensional potion thing she'd end up racking up, and instead of creating a potion, she created like this liquid vortex that sucked him through. I don't know. There are so many ways this could go. Every book has a title. And because I'm studying, she can be studying. Witchin 101. Well, that's all I've got time for today. If you like this video, please leave a like and or subscribe if you haven't done so already. And if someone wants to have a go at drawing the beast or the monster boy, yeah, please have a go. And I'd love to see what you guys drew when you drew along, if you drew along, or if you're drawing afterwards. It would be awesome to see. Can't even see this. Ooh, here's a camera. Mwomp. Shadows. Okay, bye.